with my followers, but I was starting to get a bit worried about security.
CIA agents, many of them still in college, insulated Paulsen from his fans. Charting his own air-conditioned campaign plane, Paulsen set a course for the state of Washington in a triumphant rally with Governor Evans and the hometown folks.
As your president and as a native son, I will be aware of your needs. And believe me, I'm aware of the fact that Washington certainly needs a lot. No, that's not right. Let's face it this way. The Depression was over a long time ago for most people. Why does the state of Washington have to continue to sell apples? I have repeatedly warned we must avoid the extremists. Those who say we should pull out our troops in Vietnam immediately, those who say we should escalate and go right into North Vietnam, I tell you we should continue doing like we have been, just messing around. 1968 was a year of political surprises, as you all know. President Johnston's decision not to seek re-election was perhaps the biggest surprise of all. As a keen political observer, I've noticed that most people do not really vote for someone for the presidency as much as they vote against the other candidate. And I think President Johnston's decision was unfair to these people. You're asking yourself, is America ready for such dynamic and decisive leadership? I ask you, will I solve our civil rights problems? Will I unite this country and bring it forward? Will I obliterate the national debt? Sure, why not? Thank you.
By now, it was evident that Patrick L. Paulsen had succeeded in converting a third-grade idea into a political reality. The Washington columnists began hearkening back to the start of it all, the facet of his show business career which had originally catapulted him to public prominence. It was his weekly editorials on the Smothers Brothers television show which had provided a showcase for his incisive mind and firm grasp of the national issues.
A good many people today feel our present draft laws are unjust. These people are called soldiers. What are the arguments against the draft? We hear it is unfair, immoral, discourages young men from studying, ruins their careers and their lives. Picky, picky, picky. Now, we don't claim the draft is perfect, and we do have a constructive proposal for a workable alternative. We propose a draft lottery in which the names of all eligible males will be put into a hat and the men will be drafted according to their head sizes. The tiny heads will go into the military service, and the fat heads will go into government.
Paulsen had been quick to recognize the censor's value.
The time has come to quit fooling around and talk about censorship. We of the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour have had our share of censorship problems. But we are not against censorship because we realize there is always the danger of something being said. Many people feel that censorship is a violation of freedom of speech. Bull feathers. Censorship is not unconstitutional. Censors have a right to censor what you hear. The Bill of Rights says nothing about freedom of hearing. This, of course, takes a lot of fun out of the freedom of speech. Without censorship of television, how else can you, the American public, have the protection you want from vulgar scenes, overexposed bodies, and all the other sights you like to see? Let's face it, there have to be some realistic taboos, especially with political comment. After all, the leaders of our country were not elected to be tittered at. Censors have to draw the line somewhere. For instance, we are allowed to say Ronald Reagan is a lousy actor. But we're not allowed to say he's a lousy governor. Which is ridiculous. We know he's a good actor. And you can't say anything bad about President Johnston. Because you shouldn't insult the president. But if you compliment him, who will believe it? So you can see that there is a place for censors. And we only wish we could tell you where it is.
He attacked delicate subjects.
The time has come to stop whispering about the biggest issue facing our educational system today. An issue which must be discussed boldly, courageously, and in an adult manner. I'm referring, of course, to the whole subject of sex.
On urban
I'd
sanitation.
like to suggest to the state legislature an amendment which, if passed, will provide for a woman to come in 3 days a week to clean your city.
Paulsen denounced antiquated divorce laws.
Why does a man have to lie about his legal grounds for divorce with all those fancy terms like incompatibility? Why can't a man go into court and calmly say under oath, I hate her guts? Or a woman say, I hate his guts. Or in the case of a bigamist, I hate their guts. Thank you.
In staging a drive for the White House, Paulsen's growing popularity forced him to adopt advanced campaign techniques.
Many political experts have told me that nobody will vote for me because America is not ready for such decisive and dynamic leadership. They tell me these things and I say nay to the negative nincompoops who never nourished the nihilistic nerve to name a novice to nail down the nomination.
Pat Paulsen has brought his campaign to the Sunshine State. Pat, welcome to Jacksonville.
I really happen to be here. I really was flying over here looking at it. It's so beautiful. I really think someday that I'd like to kind of settle down here in Jacksonville. It's just marvelous. People are so hospitable. Not like the people out in California, you know, there's a lot of phonies out there. But here in Jacksonville, these are real people, and this is where I think I'll live someday. I admit I do have some drawbacks and limitations as a candidate. Although I'm a professional comedian, some of my critics maintain that this alone is not enough. I cannot deny that I stand before you untested and inexperienced. I only spent 2 years in television, never as a romantic lead or a song and dance man. I'm really glad to be back in Houston. I really dig Texas. These are the real people here in Texas. These are real people. They're not like California people. Great people. I want to settle down here in Texas someday. I like it very much.
My own investigation has revealed to me that it is not the voters who elect the president. The president is actually elected by the Electoral College. I don't want to be elected by any college. I want to be elected by the people, for the people, and in spite of the people.